Hi, I'm Arna Radovich, and this is Home. The doors to Susanna Place open only to day visitors now. Nestled in the rocks, the tiny terraces of Gloucester Street wear the patina of age, the wrinkle of time. They are houses. They are meant to be lived in. The quiet of night has become a lonely time for them. The kids that lived in houses like these prowled the laneways and winding streets like feral cats. Surviving images capture kids like Ruthie, arms crossed, scowl on her face. Beside her, George is wearing an old man's head on his 10-year-old shoulders, his arm thrown around his toddler sister with her splayed feet and scabby knees. Kathleen's been baking mud pies. Jack is missing a toe. All of them kids, barefooted and bare-legged in front of the naked winter trees. How life will play out is already set in their faces, the jut of their chins. On the woodblock streets amongst the limber shadows, the children played, banished outside their teeming houses by harried mothers. They took their turns to harass each other, tossing insults, sticks and stones, skinny cats and fat rats. Some viewed the rocks as a slum. The waterside workers called it home. My microlit was stimulated by a visit to the Susanna Place Museum. I really love that museum because, unlike many other historic museums in Sydney, it honours and records working class life and how ordinary people lived. When the chance to write something for the Rocks project came up, I revisited the website and saw this photograph, which was credited to the Young family, and I used this photograph to really develop my story. I initially just had a few sentences about the idea of what home is, and that houses are never really a home until they have people in them, until people are living in them. And I started to think about the people that had lived in those terraces, how tiny they were, how the kids must have spent a lot of time on the street, and that was sort of backed up by some of the research that I did. I started to do a bit more digging on the website. I really love researching things, but sometimes it works the other way around too. I start the research first, and then some detail or idea will be the stimulus for the story. But with this particular image, it was the telling details, the scabbed knees, the old man's head on the 10-year-old shoulder, the bare feet, and the actual expressions on the children's faces, that there's just so much story there. And I was sort of trying to kind of read some of those children's stories and use some of that in the story that I developed. I'd been doing quite a lot of ekphrastic writing and collaborative art and writing projects with the mounted artist run initiative that I've been involved with for the last few years in the Blue Mountains, and I found the idea of using this photograph as a stimulus something that I really wanted to explore, and I think it's a great way of beginning a story too. If you're not sure of your starting point, is to find a photograph or some sort of image that really speaks to you. Words are so limited in microlit. The challenge and the pleasure of writing it is finding just the right words to carry a lot of meaning. So I hope you have fun writing your microlits.